Hello, my name is Joe and this is Tony.
Hello.
And this is our first ever YouTube video, and we thought we'd give it a bash because today is the 24th of April 2017, and on the 30th of April we'll be flying out to visit South America, North America and the Caribbean, and hopefully, depending on money, maybe go a little bit further. Who knows, it'll be kind of a video journal really.
Yeah.
We'll see the ups, we'll see the downs. I'm sure at the end of it all we'll say that was a fantastic experience, but we're quite aware that not everything will probably go as smoothly as we hope, but that's part of the journey, part of the adventure really. We thought it would be really interesting just to document it all, because in this day and age of vloggers and millennials, everything's recorded, everything's blogged, everything's vlogged. So we thought for entertainment purposes it would be good to put up our travels on there, but also if it helped inspire someone else who's interested in travelling, or someone who's already booked their adventure and doesn't really know how to go about the planning stage, the booking of hotels, or even packing a bag, we thought this would hopefully be quite helpful and inspirational.
Tips, tricks and organisation,
which is all
is key.
I put my finger on a map, she makes it a reality.
So, a bit about me.
Yeah, it sounds very similar to Tony. And I never really knew I was that much into travelling until our first ever holiday to Amsterdam. And the very next day, you get some people like, oh thank God, it's great to be back on British turf, but the very next day we were looking to the next sort of cheap flights, and 5 years ago we realised it's pretty cool to see other cultures and see different lands, and we kind of got the bug from there. But when it became really, really passionate, I'd say about just over a year ago, we thought, we're not really happy with what we're doing.
Change it.
So we both currently just left our jobs, which was quite a big deal. We worked really hard, we saved really hard, and now we get to travel really hard. Yeah! But for today's video, we're going to tell you how our dreams and our imagination became a reality. Planning, you were the expert on all that. I said I just pointed my finger on cool places.
The first thing for me was we had to start out with a list of places that we wanted to go to. But if you have that rough guideline, you can start to build on it. Our next step was to see what the flights were to each place. We started out with the likes of Skyscanner, Google Flights, a lot of the comparison ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd always go for a comparison website.
Because then that helps you to refine what airline you're going to travel with. We started finding where was the cheapest routes between places. A really good feature is if you go on to Google Flights, you can put your current destination in and you can view a map which will give you a rough guide of how much it is to other places.
A big deal was not only cost but time.
Exactly.
So it is kind of a process of getting a healthy medium between length of time and price.
Especially if you're only in somewhere for a short period of time, you really don't want to have wasted that with flights and jet lag.
Yeah.
Once we found out which was the cheapest path, that determines which was going to be our next destination.
Our first leg of the tour is Rio. We're then going to go to Peru and have our really adventurous part of the trip, and then Bolivia. And then from there we finally get to go to Mexico for a little bit, which is exciting. We love the food, we love the culture.
Yes. I was really obsessed with going to a remote island in Mexico.
Proper Robinson Crusoe sort of thing.
Exactly, yeah. I ended up coming across, I think it's pronounced Holbox. There was lots of other different islands, but when I started researching into it, it seemed the most untouched. So from Holbox, we are going back to Cancun for the night.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of thing, you've got to take into consideration the places in between the places you want to go.
We're taking every precaution that we can to make sure that things aren't missed because of us. Obviously things might happen. Yeah, things might happen along the way, but we're just going to have to deal with it as it comes.
If you're in the midst of planning a trip, you would find that from weather to events and time of year to climate to political things. I mean, we were booking and looking into our holidays, and Brexit happened, and we just saw all the kind of conversion rates just plummet. And though it didn't really alter where we wanted to go, you do have to take those sort of things into consideration. But these are sort of things, if you are looking into planning, you've got to be aware that things are going to shift and change, and you have to be as fluid as your journey is going to be. And don't be too disappointed by things. Just go with the flow. It's ultimately a fantastic experience that not everyone in the world has the chance to do.
That's going to be a massive learning curve for this trip, is that things will be out of your control at times, and you just have to go with it, and you have to be spontaneous and think on your feet. So we go to Tulum, and I think we're there for about 3 days.
From there we go to Merida.
It's by bus again.
That's cool, because even though we get to have a lot of flights which get us to places quickly, I like travelling by bus because you get to see some of the countries. So the next place after Merida, which is a place we never would have envisioned we were going, is Texas in America. We are big, massive fans of America. We love all Americana culture. You know, all 50s, we love Marilyn Monroe, we love all the stupid food, we love Disney, we love the big cities. It's a few days in San Antonio, a few days in Dallas, and then quite a long time in New Orleans, because that is just a place which
it's
high up on
the bucket list.
So we actually had in Jamaica. We finally get to arrive in Cuba. Once we've had a few days in Havana, we'll be kind of meeting up again with G Adventures on a different tour. They'll basically take us off the beaten track. From there we'll actually make our way back to Mexico. From there we're actually back in the States again. So we'll be in Chicago for Christmas, and then from there we'll be going to San Francisco for New Year's. That takes us up to coming home the 5th of January 2018. So hopefully it would mean that we can add some more locations. Perfect planning prevents poor holidays. If travelling is something you want to do, don't just think you can look it up in one night or one weekend ago. All sorted. It can take an excessive amount of time, and you know, the year prior to actually going, it's just been travel. So if you are serious about it, it's not even going to take up the time you're away. It could potentially take up a year of your time prior if you're really serious about it. Even though things are months and months in advance, Tony and got pretty much everything boxed off, everything paid for, which is good because now we know when going over, everything's already sorted. Our accommodation, our flights, the activities are all sorted. All we have to think and worry about is food. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, you're going to make it up as you go along." Though that seems quite romanticised in this modern day and age of things being booked, things being organised, everything needing documentation and visas and vaccines. We needed to really organise and then book in advance to go, okay, we're going to this location, we need this and this vaccine. So that's us. Other people love the idea of kind of going on a whim and seeing where they end up, but do be wary that a lot of locations need visas. They need to get along in advance, so you can't just like wander in and everything be okay.
Vaccinations as well.
This is a big one. Vaccines. One, for your own peace of mind, but two, some governments will literally not let you in the country unless you've got everything above board. If you go on that website and you pick the location you want to go to, it will tell you like high priorities and high risks, and it'll give you kind of advisory ones. So that was another big cost you'll have to factor in.
But it's worth it.
You can't put a price on health, and you don't want your trip. You don't get ill. You don't want your trip being ruined and worse. You don't want it to be fatal. So definitely do your research, because it'll ultimately get you a better experience and hopefully at a cheaper cost. The easy answer to that is Airbnb. Airbnb is something that has been gaining a lot of traction and it's becoming far more popular.
Things to look out for. Obviously, price per night. If you're in somewhere for 77 nights,
You need to be as cheap as possible.
it needs to be as cheap as possible. Is the person verified? That means that you have to register with a form of ID. Now, to us, that was a safer option. 10 or more reviews was kind of our rule, because at least 10 people had stayed there.
So not only do we look out for good reviews, but if this person's got multiple properties and have hundreds or tens of really good positive reviews, as we said, a lot of people therefore stayed there, a lot of people got there and got home safe.
And you can also do a filter on what languages they speak.
But yeah, if you're going to use Airbnb, I would advise it for extended stay, purely because it's going to be the cheaper cost, and you'll still get to be in the cities and location you want.
When choosing between the tour companies, TripAdvisor will order by best review for tours, and if you have a little search through, then you can use that and kind of have a versus. So have TripAdvisor tours that are rated top versus Viator versus Google or Greyline.
So Viator is a great one because it pretty much covers every country on the planet, really. And they do Black Friday sales, which we got a lot of tours and a lot of savings on that, so do look out for them. If you're going with a partner or a friend, whatever, it is a lot of compromise. If you're going to travel with people, make sure everyone is happy and doing what you're doing. But on the whole, we've done a trip which we're both going to be pretty fulfilled and satisfied by. I think on the whole, it's a pretty good trip. We're both pretty happy. There's not one place I wouldn't go to.
No.
Some of them would be mine, some of them would be Tony's. Some like New Orleans have definitely been both of ours, but we're both pretty darn happy. You've got to look into yourself and think, what do I really want out of a trip? As much as we want to experience different things, we wanted to go to exciting places and be fully a part of their culture.
We didn't really want an experience that had been fabricated for us. We want to experience what people who live in these places experience.
If you're thinking about travelling and you're not too sure, honestly, if you think you'll regret it, or you think you'll miss out, or if you look back as an old granny or old man and go, I wish I'd done that, that really just speaks to how much you should really do it. And that was really it for us, wasn't it? It was, would we regret not doing this?
In terms of the wider world, there hasn't been that much experience yet so far. I think the next 8 to 9 months I'm gonna do more and have more life experience than I have in the past 24 years. So it is quite daunting, but I think it's a good
thing.
Yeah,
it's more exciting than daunting. You'd rather try this sort of thing than see it as a missed opportunity and regret. But it takes a tremendous amount of dedication. It's not something that you just stumble. You can, but I generally don't think you'll have the best of times. I think you just wander from place to place and you'll miss events by a day. You'll forget things. You'll end up in places you don't really care about. You'll miss things you really care about. So if you put in time, you put in research. Doesn't matter if it's a long weekend, a 2-week holiday, or a year's trip. You'll probably get the best out of it that way. There is a heck of a lot of content out there showing people having a good time. We found that there wasn't that much advice, and we like to think that this is hopefully going to inspire people, because we're not affluent, we're not from rich families. No one's paid for us to do this. No one's sponsored us. We're doing this off our own back. We just want to prove that we work really hard and you have a dream. Nothing can get in your way, as long as you try. So this is our video. We hope it inspires some people. So yeah, next video will be packing, and then after that, hopefully we'll have a bit more juicier content for you.
Bye.
How long was that? I was doing like an hour. Now weeks on the voice went a little bit. Car driving.
Havana. Be in Mexico for Dia de los Muertos. So
see the accent on that then.
Spot up. Please don't judge.
So the fat guy kicking off.
Yeah. And then
we look so naive, right?
We'll watch this back in a year's time. Oh no. Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of our YouTube video.
If you liked what you saw, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content.
You can also find us on Instagram with @Roamin Rookies.
I'm @PickPickerRay.
And you can also find me with @Tony Critchley.
Thanks for watching.
Keep roaming.